Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, October 28th, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. It is an 11-game main slate overall, and then going over to both DraftKings and FanDuel to talk about my core picks for today. But without further ado, we'll get started with a recap of yesterday's picks. On the DraftKings side, at point guard, we had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, $9,300, looking for about 46 points on him. He got to 44.75. Technically did give him a miss, could give him a push as well, since he was right up against where we were looking for out of him, just a little bit less, but not anybody that killed you overall in yesterday's slate. Then at shooting guard, we had his teammate in Trey Mann, $5,600, looking for 28 points on him. He got 27.75, so he ended up being a push yesterday, right up against where we were looking for out of him. Then we had Keegan Murray at small forward, $5,500, one of the most popular players on yesterday's slate. Got 26 points. He was a mess. He mainly just scored the ball yesterday, not much in terms of assists, steals, blocks, or anything else like that. He had 6 rebounds, but that was about it. And then at power forward, we had Santi Aldama at $5,200. Been pretty consistent so far this year, looking for 26 points on him. He got to 16. He was a miss. Only 2 for 6 shooting from the field yesterday and mainly just scored the ball. Not too much in terms of rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, anything else like that. And then last but not least, we had Zubac at center with $6,500. We're looking for 33 fantasy points out of him. Got to 40.5, so he was a hit. So a little bit of a hit or miss day on the DraftKings side. Still had a very decent chance of cashing if you had some other good plays, though. Then on the FanDuel side, we have point guard Kyle Lowry at $5,100. Looking for 26 points out of him. He got to 37 yesterday, so he was a really good hit. At shooting guard, we had Luka Doncic. He was $12,000, looking for 60 points out of him. Got to 79.2, so he was a really good hit as well yesterday. Small forward, once again, we had Keegan Murray, one of the most popular players on the entire slate, looking for 26 points out of him at $5,200. Got to 23.2, so he was a miss. Mainly just scored the ball, as I did mention on the DraftKings side as well. And then in power forward, we had Santi Aldama once again, and he was $5,300, looking for 27 points out of him. Got to 19.9, so he ended up being a mess, mainly to score the ball, as I did mention on DraftKings as well. And then last but not least, we had Zubac at the center position, $6,500, looking for 33 fantasy points on him. Got to 38.6, so he was a hit as well. So pretty solid day on the FanDuel side overall. If you had a couple other decent plays mixed in there, you had an easy chance at cashing yesterday. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries in play for today's slate. And as I already mentioned, it is an 11-game slate. We got 2 games kicking off right at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Start off with the Atlanta Hawks, who are just without Bogdanovich once again, so no changes there. For the Detroit Pistons, Marvin Bagley and Alex Burks are both out. Jaden Ivey is questionable. He did miss the last game due to illness, so we'll just have to keep an eye out on him to see if he's playing tonight or not. If he doesn't end up playing, probably see Corey Joseph in that starting lineup overall. Not really a great play for DFS either way. Then we move over to Charlotte Hornets, who are without LaMelo Ball once again. And then we have Terry Rozier and Cody Barton, both listed as doubtful at this point in time, so unlikely they play once again. So pretty similar to the last time out. For the Orlando Magic, they are without Cole Anthony, Markelle Fultz, Gary Harris, Jonathan Isaac, Jalen Suggs, and Mo Wagner. So the newest one here is Cole Anthony. Obviously, if Jalen Suggs was healthy, he would play in his place. He's not. Probably going to see RJ Hampton in the starting lineup. Probably going to be a good game for guys like maybe Terrence Ross, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. overall. Just kind of have to see how that plays out for their team overall. Could be some value here, just depending on who ends up in that starting lineup overall. Then we move over to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are without Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, and Dylan Windler once again, so no changes there. We did see Dean Wade start the last time, so assuming that he starts once again tonight. Then for the Boston Celtics, Danilo Gallinari, Robert Williams, and Grant Williams are all out in this game, so the new one there is Grant Williams, who is serving a 1-game suspension after bumping a referee in the last game. So going to be some minutes to go around overall. Probably not anything that impacts DFS too much overall, though. Then we move down to the Pacers, who just have Daniel Tice out once again. Miles Turner did make his return to the lineup last time out, only played 24 minutes. He's a guy that I do like quite a bit today. He could project pretty well if he gets the minutes as well. Then for the Wizards, Corey Kispert's out once again, and then DeLon Wright is out in this game, so expect a couple more minutes to go to Monte Morris. Probably going to look like a little bit better play overall today. Could see Bradley Beal take some of that ball handling over when Morris is not out on the court as well. Moving down to the 76ers, they are all the way healthy at this point in time. Toronto Raptors are just missing Otto Porter Jr. Then the Knicks are without Quentin Grimes once again. The Bucks are without Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles, and Chris Middleton, so no changes there as well. The Lakers are without Thomas Bryant, Dennis Schroeder, and Cole Swider once again. Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis both listed as questionable to play. We'll see if either one of them ends up playing today, and then LeBron James is probable. For the Timberwolves, Luka Garza is inactive. He's going to the G League. And then Kyle Anderson listed as a game time decision. We'll see if he's back tonight or not. Move down to the Chicago Bulls, who are without Lonzo Ball. Zach LaVine's listed as questionable for his left knee injury management. I assume that he ends up missing this game. Probably makes DeMar DeRozan a pretty interesting play overall. Assume that Alex Caruso is probably going to start in his place as well. Then for the Spurs, Josh Primo and Devin Vassell are both out once again. So Josh Richardson probably gets the start once again and looking pretty good tonight overall. For the Utah Jazz, they are without Rudy Gay. Then it looks like Fonacchetti is out as well. Not even sure who that is off the top of my head. And then we got Colin Sexton and Walker Kessler, both listed as questionable to play. We'll see if they play tonight or not. Obviously could open up some minutes off the bench for other players as well. For the Denver Nuggets, Colin Gillespie is out once again. Devon Reed, Michael Porter Jr., and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, all this is questionable, so could be some value opening up in that starting lineup overall. Then we move down to the New Orleans Pelicans, which is kind of the big value spot on today's slate. EJ Liddell, Kira Lewis, and Brandon Ingram all out in this one. Then we have CJ McCollum, Zion Williamson, Herb Jones, Dyson Daniels, and Jose Alvarado. All this is questionable. So just depending on who ends up playing, who doesn't, there could be a lot of value on this Pelicans team. But the worst part is it's one of the last games of the night. So if you really want a late swap, there's the potential there. But there's also a potential that we don't get a lot of value as well. For the Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder is out once again. Wainwright is a game time decision. We'll see if he plays tonight or not. Probably not going to play too big a role either way, though. Then we move over to the Rockets, who are without Ty Washington and Bruno Fernando. Sengun and Kevin Porter, both listed as game time decisions, but expected to play tonight. For the Trailblazers, they're without Olivia Sauer once again, and then Damian Lillard is out tonight. Anthony Simons could make an interesting play. Whoever ends up in that starting lineup, whether it's a Nazir Little, whether it's a Justice Winslow, could be in play tonight as well. Joseph Nurkic looking pretty good on both sites as well. Trenton Wofford and Gary Payton II, both listed as questionable to play as well tonight. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight. Obviously, the ones that we'll be watching are the New Orleans Pelicans, Zach LaVine, some of that Denver Nuggets news as well, Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook. There could be some value opening up in a big way on the slate overall. But at this point in time, we don't have a ton. So with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my core picks for tonight. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Dennis Smith Jr. For the Charlotte Hornets, he's $6,300. We're looking for 32 fantasy points out of him. Been playing a big role since Terry Rozier, LaMelo Ball, Cody Martin are all not able to play at this point in time. And currently I'm projected for 33 points tonight. Does have a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at shooting guard, we're going to go with Josh Richardson at $5,400. Looking for 27 points out of him. He's averaging 22.5 so far on the season. Last time out was the first time he started on the year. Got him projected for 29 points tonight, but does offer some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going with Gordon Hayward, another guy that's going to pick up a ton of usage tonight for the Charlotte Hornets, $6,700. Looking for 34 fantasy points out of him tonight. Currently, I'm projected for 35. Looking like a pretty decent value play overall so far. And then we move down to power forward with John Collins, $7,000. He's averaging 41 fantasy points per game on the season. Currently, I'm projected for about 37 tonight, but definitely does have a ton of upside for more. And it's a pretty favorable matchup against the Detroit Pistons overall. And then last but not least, we have Miles Turner, $5,800. He obviously made his season debut the last time out. Only played 24 minutes. Expect him to get closer to 28 to 30 in tonight's game. Currently, I'm projected for 30 fantasy points overall. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here, you have $18,800 remaining, just under $6,300 per player. So looking maybe like a more balanced build type of day from the get-go. But if there's some other value that does open up throughout the day, could be able to pay up for some studs as well as some of these core picks that I already do have here. If there's any major changes throughout the day, I'll leave it down in the comments so that you guys are best informed as possible. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there as well. So we're going to start off at the point guard position with Monte Morris. He's $4,900. We're looking for 25 fantasy points out of him. Pretty much what he's been doing on a regular basis. As I mentioned, there's no DeLon Wright tonight. He probably gets a couple extra minutes. Currently, I'm projected for 26 fantasy points tonight, but does offer a little bit of upside for more as well. Then at shooting guard, we got Josh Richardson once again, $4,800, looking for 24 fantasy points out of him. Currently, I'm projected for about 28, 29 tonight. He definitely has some upside for more if he gets the minutes, and he's shooting the ball pretty well once again. Then we move down to small forward with Gordon Hayward, $6,500. So we're looking for 33 fantasy points out of him. Currently, I'm projected for 34 fantasy points tonight, but definitely has some upside for more as well. Then at power forward, we're going all the way up to Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is $11,800. Looking for 59 fantasy points out of him. He's averaging over 60 so far on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 58. It's, as I mentioned in some of my other videos, it's definitely difficult to project anybody else above 58. But if anybody's going to do it tonight, it's probably going to be Giannis. So definitely want a lot of exposure to him. He's done pretty well versus the Knicks in the past as well. Then last but not least, at the center position, we're going with Joseph Nurkic, $6,800, looking for 34 fantasy points out, averaging just under 32 so far in the season. Damian Lillard is not active for this game, and in the games that Damian Lillard doesn't play, Joseph Nurkic usually has an increased usage rate and increased assist percentage. He typically plays a little bit better. Pretty favorable matchup against the Houston Rockets as well. Currently, I'm projected for 37 fantasy points tonight, but definitely offers some upside for more as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed here on the FanDuel side, you have $25,200 remaining, $6,300 per player. Might have to get a little bit creative in who you use here and there. Maybe you put another star player in there as well. Pay down in a couple other spots. Definitely a lot of different ways that you can approach the slate overall tonight. If you don't want to play Giannis, you want to play somebody a little bit cheaper and do a little bit more balance build across the way, you can also do that as well. But with that being said, these are my core picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, October 28th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks for either site or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. Also, be sure to note for the questions and your favorite play on tonight, whether that is for FanDuel or DraftKings, just to simplify things a little bit in general. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates throughout the day, as well as the starting lineups. Hopefully you get those late ones once again, but kind of been a little bit hit or miss in that regard as of late, but we'll do my best to get all the early ones out for sure. And then with that being said, if there's any updates to the core prior to lock, about 20 to 30 minutes, I'll try to update that as well, or if there's any other major changes throughout the night. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we got NBA and NFL DFS. And then with that being said, if you are a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I do these daily NBA DFS core pick videos Monday through Friday. Sometimes I'll have them on the weekend. Probably going to be a little ways out before that happens once again. And then I have my NFL DFS weekly core play video that's be coming out later today, as well as the live streams for the Monday night and Thursday night football games. So definitely be sure to check those out. Definitely be sure that you have your notifications turned on if that's something you're interested in, because you'll see them popping up when I go live, when those videos are posted as well. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.